Hello, fellow travelers, and welcome to another episode of Scribe Speaks. Today, we're going to be talking about the number one top rated animated series on HBO, Velma. Velma is an animated series. It is a spin off, it is a reimagining of the Scooby Doo IP that follows Velma. Velma suffers from anxiety and a form of PTSD in the show where she used to solve mysteries but no longer does it. She's struggling with this repressed issue, and it manifests as this schizoaffective ghost that haunts her. It makes her look kind of unhinged when you're watching the show, and she has these mental breakdowns every time she goes to solve a case. But eventually she gets back on her horse and she starts solving cases again. So I'm glad she was able to overcome her demons. That is pretty much all of the character development that happens. The majority of the show is based on high school drama, and it's even worse than it sounds, in all honesty. The show follows these high school age children. My problem with the show is that a few minutes in, it's already sexualizing the characters on screen. 2 minutes into these, the opening pilot episodes, you're seeing the inside of the girls' locker room as they are wet and soapy and half naked. And remember, they're all in high school. So that's the immediate first red flag. I'm glad when they put it right there out in the front for everybody, because it's just not going to get any better. After that, the show just devolves from there. It's like they were intent on driving it off a cliff in its first few seasons. What passes for humor in this show is actual dumpster fire level comedy. Most of it is sex jokes or race jokes or some sort of class joke. It's an unrealistically high amount of hypersexualized teen drama that is overtly racial. It's really just a bad look. Growing up, Scooby Doo was a TV show that took a group of kids that were all wildly different from one another, but they each had their own strengths. They had character flaws, but they also had overwhelmingly positive aspects, and those positive aspects overcame their negative aspects. They were able to work together as a team. They were able to overcome obstacles. They were able to solve problems. There's none of that in this new IP. I don't know how they plan to save it. It seems like they made a quirky girl drama with a Scooby-Doo aesthetic. I really wished it was good, because I didn't want it to be another instance of something new being done with a franchise where people come in and they just hate on it because it's new. They hate on it because the art style's different, or they hate on it because it's got a new voice actor, or one of the characters has a palette swap and they look a little different than they may have in previous iterations, right? But no, there are valid reasons to dislike this show. This show is disgusting with the level of sexual content that it displays. Even in the trailer, you see a half-naked Daphne at one point. I think it's very odd to put a animated TV series for adults with a bunch of sexualized high school students. The worst part about it, the biggest crime about it, they demoted our boy Scooby, our man Scoobs. He's no longer the main, he's no longer the flagship, he's no longer the bread and butter, he's no longer the name that carries the show, he's no longer the face of our beloved IP. They replaced him with this mean girl cosplay of Velma. That should be a crime against humanity. There's a lot of sex jokes. There's a lot of risque humor. There's an instance where in this Scooby-Doo spin-off franchise where Velma is being bullied in the hallway by a bunch of other girls. She comes into the school. She has a makeover. She has a glam up. She's glowing. She's beautiful. She's slaying queen. And she comes in. She's wearing her sparkly skirt and she's showing a little cleavage and she's got her blush and makeup on and she's looking nice. The other girls, they just can't stand it. They hate her. She's ugly. She's fat. They push her down. They throw rotten tomatoes at her. And then one girl slings a paper cutter at her. Fred intervenes. He, like an anime character, instant transmissions into the path of this paper cutter, grabs it out of the air, slings it around, ricochets it right off the wall, and cuts another student's legs off. It's true. That happened in this show. Now I get it. You're thinking, what's wrong? All of my favorite anime has high school kids getting into violent and hypersexual interactions. Well, Velma is not your favorite anime. Velma is an attempt at selling a Mean Girls animated series with a Scooby-Doo veneer. Velma is probably the worst case of mismanagement of an IP that I have ever seen. This is the worst reboot. But the worst part about it is that, and maybe this is intentional, but the worst part about it is like the show's creators and producers are they're so tone deaf. They're so lacking in self-awareness. They genuinely can't see people do not like this show. And they're just saying that everybody hating on it is just a little baby Sigma incel in their home crying because their Scooby-Doo isn't about Scooby-Doo anymore. And it's just such a tone-deaf response. It's beyond insulting. Because anybody could watch this show and tell you it's not Scooby Doo. This isn't what we loved. This isn't what we grew up on, and it's not even what anybody wanted or needed. Velma is not the conversation about race or sex or status that any of us need to have. Velma is not a thoughtful commentary on serious societal issues. Velma is a shameless cash grab that has been pumped full of someone's personal angst and political agenda. Velma is a horrendous nightmare full of hypersexualized minors. Okay, yeah, all right. Everybody in the girls' locker room is 18. This is a barely legal situation. Okay, Velma, appreciate it. They could have honestly created their own characters in their own unique setting. It would have been another just vulgar and inappropriate show. It would have been fine. I think there's a market for that. There's a hole left. I mean, with what's happening with Rick and Morty right now, there's a lot of edgy people out there that need another hardcore, raunchy show to vent with. Velma, by any other name, could have filled that role. But the shameless co-opting of our beloved Scooby, the sidelining of our main man, is a crime against humanity. We shouldn't take this lying down, guys. We should cancel it. The show should be canceled forever. I know they've already paid Mindy for 3 seasons of it. Just let her have the money, HBO. Shut the show down. Just let Mindy keep her money. It ends here, HBO. We already had an adult Scooby Doo. I saw it. Everyone saw it. The live action Scooby Doo movie, honestly. Spooky Island. I mean, come on, guys. We all remember. Shaggy, spitting game. Remember at the claw game, spitting game, winning the little prize? I mean, that's how you know. He was using 0.004269 of his power level just to win the claw game. We all know. We saw it. I mean, this is like an alternate dimension. We're in a bad timeline right now, and he's going to come save us from us. The real Shaggy is going to come in at any moment. He's going to up his power level. He's going to get serious. He's going to use 2% of his full power, and he's going to change the timeline. He's going to fix this. You just got to have enough faith. When the real Shaggy gets wind of what's going on here, it's going to be rough, I'm telling you. Mindy is going to have to answer to the real Shaggy for what she's done. In all honesty, to close this out, I think this sets a really bad precedent. Man, there are so many people out there that really want to see good, faithful adaptations of their most cherished and nostalgic moments. There's so many good IPs out there that I just want you guys to stay away from, because it's like you hate us. It's like you hate the audience. Velma is a hypersexualized, ridiculous mess of a show. It shouldn't exist. I can't believe we live in this timeline genuinely where it does. Could have been an interesting take on a beloved franchise from our childhood. It has become a vehicle for a hateful and petty political agenda. With that being said, guys, thank you all for watching. Appreciate it so much. We're at 50 subscribers now because of you guys. You guys are sick. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. If you like the video, like the video. Tell me what you think about this in the comment section. But this show, it is a new low. It is a new low for any and all reboots. Really, I mean, every other bad reboot is now slightly better because of how bad this reboot in particular was. But anyway, thank you guys very much for watching. Love you guys. Safe travels. Remember what they took from us.